Hello, my name is Turner Fair III, and I am the creator of the World History, An African Perspective wall chart. The chart grew out of my experience as a lecturer on this subject over the last 20 years, and it is an attempt to show the influences of people of African descent on world civilization over the past 6,000 years. The heart of the chart is the 24-inch green and yellow time circle. The circle starts at the 12 o'clock position at 4000 BC, and time increases clockwise around the circle until we reach AD 2000 at the 12 o'clock position again. The green portion of the circle contains the cultures that developed on the African continent. Going clockwise, the timeline marks occur every 375 years. Each culture is shown as an arc of time that starts at its foundation and ends when the culture was overcome or lost its original composition. The cultures in the green area are in boxes to the right of the influences section. The yellow portion contains 12 major cultures that developed elsewhere in the world, such as Japan, Europe, the Americas, etc. There are boxes on the circle that are color-coded to the time arcs for the yellow portion. The boxes contain numbered events that occurred over the existence of the cultures. For example, if we look at the box for the Americas, the first event would be the Chavín in Peru, number 1. On the time arc for the Americas, we would see that this event occurred in 1000 BC. That is, the Chavín were in Peru at 1000 BC. Also notice that there's a red arrow with the number 9 in it pointing to this position. This red arrow is an African influence at that point, 1000 BC. We would go to the African influences portion of the chart, which is the long green rectangle to the right, and read arrow number 9. We would find that the Olmecs, a Negroid culture, were in Mexico at the same time, that is 1000 BC. There are 20 African influence arrows that are read the same way. It is easy then to compare events occurring at any time in different cultures. The culture of ancient Kemet, or Egypt, the Greek name, has a special long rectangle that lists rulers over 30 dynasties and significant events over this 3,000-year period. Since this chart is about Africa, I would like to point out other significant and helpful information. There are 5 maps on the chart. Starting in the lower left-hand corner is a map of ancient Africa to 1500 BC, which also details significant bodies of water on the continent. To the right of that is a map of how the continent was partitioned and colonized by the European powers. This map is AD 1914, just prior to the First World War, which was the height of European colonization. The next map to the right is a map of present-day Africa, AD 1990, showing the countries of Africa and red dots at the place of the country's capital. The next map shows the old cultures and traditional peoples of Africa. The names of over 65 peoples on the locations map are listed in the box next to it. The last map to the right is a close-up view of the ancient Kemetic or Egyptian Nile Valley and locations of structures and cities that developed along its path. Notice that some of these have two names, the Greek name, such as the Sphinx, and the Kemetic name, in parentheses, such as Horem Akhet, which is what the actual name of the Sphinx is. The statistics portion of the chart lists the countries on the present day of Africa map, AD 1990, and give the capital, the red dots, population, size, and year of colonial independence for each. The white portion of this area also contains interesting statistics on the continent itself. The chart also has a section that covers the 5 billion year history of the Earth. This is the blue paleontology section located under the title. Famous quotations about African peoples are also displayed and is in the red bordered boxes throughout the chart. Since this is a reference wall chart, one of the most important things it contains are the references. I am hopeful that the chart will stimulate the reader to go in depth in the study of African people and their descendants. Therefore, over 40 reference sources are listed. The main 18 references are listed in the box in the middle of the chart. Other references are located in the African Influences section and the quotations. The gray box under the Influences section lists Sheikh Anta Diop's 10 proofs that the ancient Egyptians or Kemetans were black. The significance of this will be covered later. In George Orwell's book, 1984, there's an interesting statement, and that statement says that he who controls the present controls the past, and he who controls the past controls the future. That statement is very appropriate because as the dominant culture, Western man has basically controls most people's past. And if we, as African peoples, do not free our minds and learn the truth about ourselves, Western man will also control our futures.